Hi there, listener. You're about to experience TADPOG. Tyler and Dave play old games, and there will be plenty of game talk, but also copious amounts of crude, off-color, offensive, and immature speech. So if you are of a rather sensitive humor constitution, we're just letting you know what you're in for with this show. It has games. It has jokes. You know, just games and jokes. Take the games, take the jokes, and have a good time.
Hello, Internet, and welcome to another TADPOG podcast. It's a show that happens twice a week where two old guys talk about old games. Dave, this week, it's Original Flavor Wednesday. So we have a list, a legitimate, sourced, researched, and documented list of games that we'll be doing for the next 25 Original Flavor Wednesdays.
25 weeks.
So the unveiling of what we're going to be doing, Dorkly's top 25 in
Action Max video games. That's right. We cut the list down from 100 to 25.
I'll have to cut that 25 down to 6.
No, I'm sorry. I told a horrible joke over your very serious moment.
We're going to do N64 games next. Dorkly has a really good N64 list, and
supposedly. I don't know because I haven't played any of these games.
I know
before.
that's the thing. This whole N64 just missed both of us, which I think makes it prime real estate to judge most of these games on just how we play them now, as opposed to I don't know. N64 came out. I was in middle school, so
my neighbor had an N64, and I remember playing Mario 64 on there.
Yeah.
And I remember being it was so weird to me. I immediately didn't like it. And I remember thinking, I guess I'm just done with Nintendo.
Well, man, I was the same way, really, when I played Mario 64. I could get about 7 or 8 stars, and then it's just I don't like this anymore. And then, because your neighbor had one, my Josh had an N64.
Yeah.
So he lent me his N64 really for about a year and a half for me to play Ocarina of Time. That is the only N64 game I've ever beaten. So, yeah, I think looking over the top 25 list, I've played 5 of these games. I've beaten that one. So that's it.
I'm not sure I played any of them, other than for the show.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a few that I've started.
Like GoldenEye.
No, never played GoldenEye. I watched
really?
GoldenEye being played.
I played a lot of GoldenEye, but I never beat the story campaign or anything like that.
I've seen the story campaign being played, and
Blake beat it at the cabin 2 or 3 years ago.
He beat it. Mm-hmm. I remember watching him play it. I remember thinking, this does not look like fun, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll get to that.
We're pretty sure that's on the list. So we should probably have a list or a link to the list in the show notes. So I know Phil Hawkins and some other listeners like seeing a list beforehand so they can maybe play some of the games with us. That's a fun activity.
Yeah. And then if Paul wants to jump on the bandwagon with us for what's Paul playing today and play some N64 games.
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
Great. But I feel like we thought it was a good opportunity because we haven't played it. We got a lot of I feel like more people asked us to do N64 than anything else, too.
I think so. I feel like N64 is the right choice. It's the right choice.
Yeah.
I am a little worried that we're going to be incredibly brutal with these games because we haven't played them.
Yeah.
I, in particular, I'm I don't know. A lot of these SNES games that we covered in the top 100 Super IGN's top 100 SNES games, I feel kind of squeaked by on my part because it was it's shitty, but I love it.
Yeah.
I don't think that's gonna happen with the N64 list.
Well, I feel like it's different because we play Super Nintendo, they had the 32 bits down. That was they learned everyone by the time the Super Nintendo had its run, they knew how to work with the graphical limitations. They knew how to do 2D in that system just right.
Yeah, 16-bit. Yeah,
and I feel like 16-bit. Mm-hmm. Okay, why'd I say 32? Where am I messed up?
You're thinking of the Sega 32X.
Okay, yeah. Fuck. Okay, so but then the era here of the N64 and the PlayStation, bad 3D graphics
things start to get ugly.
Really bad.
Yeah.
They're really bad. Like, good 2D withstands the test of time. Bad 3D just only gets worse.
Yeah, there was bad 2D, though. I mean...
Oh, yeah. But I feel like, man.
Back when that's how I kind of look at it. Because, like, N64, PlayStation 1, that was like when 3D was new, like brand new for home consoles. So it makes sense to me that it would be shitty. Because, I mean, you look at some of their first Atari games, and it's like, well, I mean, it's pretty shit.
Yeah.
This 2D, they have not mastered two-dimensional graphics yet.
But I can't remember, like, I guess we'll see later on in the N64's lifespan, like, how graphics changed. But I remember being, like, so psyched about the N64. Back whenever I knew it as the Ultra 64.
Yes.
Because that's what I wish they had stuck with. I remember I was sad when they just called it the N64.
Nintendo's console names, like their code names, are always better than what they release. Because do you remember what the Wii was before it came out? It was like...
Was it Dolphin or was it GameCube Dolphin?
GameCube was Dolphin.
Okay, maybe that one was.
I think it was
Memphis?
I think it was like Revolution or something like that.
Oh, Revolution. Okay.
Like I feel like all of them are better than like the names are like, and it's called the GameCube because you play games on it and it looks like cube.
The Wii, because when you play it, you just want to go Wii. And the Wii U, because when you fuck, man.
Wait. Why do you know why it is called the Wii U?
Because they just got lazy. They just
no, but what does it even mean?
I don't
know.
No,
They're just like throw a U on there.
That's pretty next gen. Put a U on it.
Is it like?
Because Wii O sounds funny, so put Wii U on it.
Wii O sounds like we're in debt. Wii U sounds like I don't know, Nintendo State University.
But all right, you want us to talk about? I don't know. I guess sitting down with an N64 first of all.
Yeah.
The system itself. 4 controller ports.
Yeah,
awesome. Fantastic.
We can do a impromptu Dave read some Wikipedia on the N64 if you'd like.
Okay, yeah, let's do it.
I mean, we know nothing about the system.
Pretty much. I remember there was a disk drive that made me very sad that it didn't happen.
Yeah.
And crashed the hopes of what the next mother was supposed to be. So.
Okay, guys. The Nintendo 64, stylized as Nintendo in all caps, 64 in superscript, and often referred to as N64, is Nintendo's third home video game console for the international market. Named for its 64-bit central processing unit, it was released in June 1996 in Japan, September 1996 in North America, March 1997 in Europe and Australia, September 1997 in France, and December 1997 in Brazil. It is the industry's latest major home console to use the cartridge as its primary storage format, although current handheld systems such as the PlayStation Vita and Nintendo 3DS also use cartridges. While the N64 was succeeded by Nintendo's mini DVD-based GameCube in November 2001, N64 consoles remained available until the system was retired in late 2003. Codenamed Ultra 64, the console's design was mostly finalized by mid-1995, though Nintendo 64's launch was delayed until 1996. As part of the fifth generation of gaming, the N64 competed primarily with the PlayStation and Sega Saturn. It launched with 3 games: Super Mario 64, Pilot Wings 64, which were released worldwide, and Saikyo Habu Shogi, which was released only in Japan. The suggested retail price at launch was $199.99, and it was later marketed with the slogan, "Get in or get out."
Brilliant.
The console was ultimately released in a range of different colors and designs, and an assortment of limited edition controllers were sold or used as contest prizes during its lifespan. It sold 32.93 million units worldwide, and in 2009, it was named the 9th greatest video game console by IGN. Time Magazine named it their 1996 Machine of the Year. Got one more paragraph. One of its technical drawbacks is a limited texture cache, which can hold textures of limited dimensions and reduced color depth, which must be stretched to cover larger in-game surfaces. Its vintage ROM cartridges are constrained by small capacity and high production expenses compared to the compact disc format used by its chief competitors. Some third-party publishers that supported Nintendo's previous consoles reduced their output or stopped publishing for the console. The N64's most successful games came from first-party or second-party studios.
Yeah.
So this is a turning point for that, I feel like, right?
Yeah, for Nintendo as a whole, really, because they...
That's what I mean.
Yeah. Because of Nintendo's choices, PlayStation became a thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now PlayStation... Well, I guess it dominated the PlayStation 2 era, and then right now it's kind of questionable.
Because what's the story with the PlayStation? Originally the Ultra 64 was going to have an optical drive.
Because I can't remember.
Is that the story?
Because there was something about they had talked about doing some kind of expansion for the Super Nintendo. And then Nintendo said no, so these people took it to Sony, and then that becomes the PlayStation. And then I guess Nintendo realized, oh shit, this whole compact disc thing is a lot better than these cartridges. Well, I guess we can make a disc drive for the N64. People love that Earthbound, don't they? All right, well, let's make another one of those in the disc drive. You know what? Never mind. Scrap all of that. Scrap every bit of it and just break. We'll do some in Japan, but mostly just fuck America. No way. Bigger marketplace, but no, fuck them. It's fine.
And that's what stopped Mother 3 from coming out on the N64?
And then it was ported to... because there is footage of it, of the 3D Mother 3. And then, it was scrapped, and they sent it to GBA.
Because, see, I've seen that. I've seen some screen caps of the 3D version of it. And I had no idea what it was for. Now I know. It was just demo.
Yeah, demo for the disk drive, and then I guess they also didn't have the proper team put together because they were hitting just design flaws. They couldn't have a team that was capable of doing it completely.
Yeah.
So I think that also factored into it.
I'm kind of glad that it didn't happen because I don't think that I would like to play a 3D Mother 3.
That's fair.
I just don't. I just don't think
it
that
wouldn't
I
look
would.
good now as opposed to everything else that still looks good.
And
so
the GBA version looks pretty good.
Mm-hmm. So I'm coming into the N64 with a few good memories.
Yeah.
In way of the Zelda games and GoldenEye multiplayer, 4 controller ports. But
Which is awesome. You don't need a multi-tap.
Yeah.
That was a huge deal.
But there's still some shit that I just get. The cartridges, and then I don't feel like the breadth of the games is great. So I'm looking forward to seeing the list because a lot of them I didn't know anything about. So I want to see what all the games are out there that it can offer, and that this fucking controller, this fucking abysmal controller. I love the GameCube controller. I think the GameCube controller is pretty perfect.
It's the best. It's pretty much the best Nintendo controller ever.
Yeah,
in my opinion, because you can play anything with a GameCube controller. You can play N64 games with it. You can play SNES games. You can play Nintendo games. And I feel like Nintendo knows that that's their perfect controller because every console since
the Wii's coming out, okay, we'll give it GameCube controller ports.
Exactly.
The Wii U, okay, well, let's give it an expansion for GameCube controllers.
And it's if you go online, you can find third-party GameCube to N64 converters, so you can use your GameCube controller on an N64.
Because I was skeptical the first time I picked up a PlayStation controller because I was like, man, this feels awkward. I'm not gonna be any good at fighting games.
The separated directional buttons,
then just the stuff, the handles at the bottom to go into your palms, your grip. I just thought it felt so weird. I remember Shake was the first one to have a PlayStation. I talked to him, was like, man, you're gonna beat the shit out of me in Street Fighter because I can't fucking play with this controller. I was super uncomfortable with it. Yeah, that was my excuse. But eventually, I picked it up and I love the PlayStation controller.
Yeah.
On my Vita, I bought the same setup to turn it into a PlayStation controller. But I felt bad looking at the N64 controller, and I still feel bad looking at the N64 controller because playing anything on it just feels weird because I see what they were trying to do, but you always just ended up playing on just cut off the D-pad half and just throw it away because you're going to be playing with this almost as if you're playing on a Game Boy, the size of what you're playing with the joystick, and then
because you're using that middle handle and the right handle.
Yeah,
pretty much.
That's what you have to use exclusively.
It looks like the controller looks like the top of a trident.
Yeah,
because there's 3 handles on it. I'm going to steal a joke from Paul Kluel for all those kids out there with 3 hands.
The Japanese are like, humans will evolve. We will likely have 3 hands. We'll get ahead of the market.
In the year, research shows that in the year 1999, kids will have 3 hands.
The American Bible says that in the year 1999, we're marketing to the Antichrist.
The dragon will appear, and all children will grow a 3rd hand.
But listen, the 25th ranked game is Mortal Kombat Trilogy.
Yes.
So that's what we're talking about today.
Yeah.
Before we hit on that, though, I've got something I want to discuss.
Okay.
I started playing because after it's been years, like the game was made for the Nintendo DS, and the fan translation was just now finished for Miles Edgeworth 2. So they released the English patch, and now you can play it, and it's a wonderful translation.
This never had a U.S. release or anything?
No. Like Capcom came out hard saying, nope, absolutely not.
Why?
I don't know.
You don't Phoenix Wright games sell very well?
Yeah, they've done, so I don't know why. Like, maybe the first Miles Edgeworth didn't do fantastic. I don't know, but I remember there being a lot of, like, fan letters and petitions and things like that, and Capcom was just, no.
Do you think people are getting Miles Edgeworth confused with Miles from Murphy Brown? So clearly that's why this didn't sell.
This is a game about Miles from Murphy Brown? No. Miles like Miles Tails from Sonic? No.
Miles per hour, you mean?
Scrap the game. Which I think it kind of it's an interesting question, because I know gaming piracy is a big hot topic right now, but is piracy totally fine when you have no other outlet to play the game? Is this kind of fan translation okay? Because there's no other way you can play it besides getting a ROM, patching the ROM, and playing it on an emulator device. Because you can't pay for it and play it any other way.
I guess you could, right? I mean,
you have to buy a Japanese DS and learn Japanese.
Yeah.
Or pay for the translator to hang it with you the whole time while you play it.
I mean, that's my point. Like, you could.
But it's just kind of the same way with Mother 3. Mother 3 was the first translation I played because, of course, that didn't get a local release either. Earthbound didn't do spectacular. I'm not surprised, but apparently Nintendo has been buying up Mother 3 URLs and stuff. So
really,
I'm hoping that maybe after Earthbound doing well in the Virtual Console, they're thinking about doing Mother 3 over here now, which would be great if they could get the guy who did Earthbound's translation to do Mother 3.
That's worth the money.
Because I liked Mother 3, but I would absolutely pay for it and play it again if it was translated like Earthbound was.
Does Capcom have a statement on the fan translation? Have you read anything about that?
I have not. It's very clear when you start the ROM, like, we're not, it states, this Capcom does not endorse this. We're not making any money.
Yeah.
This is just like a 5-year passion project for us. Here you go.
Well, that's even like the Mother 3 translation is like everywhere on that site. It's like, you can't get an emulator here. You can't get the ROM here. All this is a patch for the translation.
Yeah.
Anything else you get, you're getting from somewhere else at your own risk.
So it's just like, I don't know. It makes me even more mad at Capcom for, one, denying a release for this so hard, and the same for Mega Man Legends.
Yeah.
Like having a ton of support, just being like, nah, we're okay. The guy who made Mega Man, no, we're gonna let him go.
Yeah.
Nah, we don't need him. We don't need him. We've got Resident Evil. Fuck y'all. It's fine. So I don't know. Like I don't. It's a series I want to support. I bought the Dual Destinies the day it came out.
Yeah.
I couldn't even play it for like 3 or 4 more days, but I've bought it on release day.
I remember.
So like and I would gladly pay for this game, but it's just like, what are you going to do if there's not a way for you to really play it?
Well, that's how that's how you sleep at night, right? I mean, if it comes out here, you'll buy it. That's it.
It's true.
That's it. If it comes out here, you'll buy it, and then now you got a clean conscience.
If HBO gives me a subscription separate from cable, then I'll pay for Game of Thrones. I won't pay Game of Thrones anymore.
You can totally do that. That's a thing now.
Now it is. It wasn't 4 seasons ago.
So what you're saying is you're definitely getting that HBO Go subscription.
Now that you can buy it a la carte, that I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah, I think I'm going to get it.
I remember Matthew Inman of the Oatmeal has a good comic about that.
Yeah,
But like, oh, okay, well, I'll buy it on iTunes. Nope. Okay, not available. Okay, well, HBO Go, that's a thing. Oh, nope, have to have a cable subscription for HBO Go. Okay, what about the actually buying the DVD? Nope, can't do. Okay.
Yeah, I think like what HBO's got an exclusive with Apple TV for 3 months, and then it opens up.
Something like that, yeah. I don't know. I'm still baffled by like this kind of exclusivity and regional locks. Like that's all I hear about on Steam is like I can play all these games, but in Australia, they don't get shit. They're like everything is region locked in Australia, and even if they get it, it's like 3 times more expensive.
Really?
I don't understand. Like, and I remember I have private internet access on my laptop, and when I'd log into my VPN and then try to log on to Steam, seems like we don't know where you're from. Nope, you can't play your Steam games.
Steam is really cautious about stuff because I've been doing a lot of card trading recently, and every trade offer that I make, Steam is like, "Hey, we sent you an email. You have to verify that this is you before you can trade these 2 cards that are worth a nickel." Thanks, Steam.
Because that's what I heard. Like, because I mean, one, the Better Business Bureau is kind of bullshit anyway. It's a wonderful idea, but seeing that them saying you're good or not depends on how much money you give them.
Right.
But I mean, they gave Steam an awful review because they submitted like 600 reports and like only 200 of them even got responded to. So, however much that is worth, because supposedly I've never had to contact customer support for anything.
No,
but I've heard nightmare stories about like somebody from Steam will steal credit card data, buy a game, and gift it to somebody like randomly, and if you accept that gift, your account permanent lockdown.
What?
They flag you.
What?
They flag you for fraud, and that's just it.
Wait,
If you accepted a game from somebody who bought the game illegally, you are also held accountable.
Oh my God.
So like people have been locked and just sending letters, emails after email after email, trying like I didn't know this, and now they have warnings like, don't just accept random people to your friends list unless you know them beforehand and stuff like that, because they'll just fuck you.
Well, I still like Steam because I can buy games for $3.
I didn't get rid of Steam. Yeah. I just don't have like anybody on my friends list, and unless it's like you or my brother, like I don't accept any trades or anything like that. So.
Hey, we've got a Steam group.
Yeah. It's got a 6-step verification process. We have to fully vet you.
We need an X-ray of your body, profile, front and back. Make sure you don't have any kind of contraband on you. Then you can come into the group. Yeah. I feel like that was intro stories.
Yeah,
right?
Sure?
Yeah, I mean we're deep in.
We're about 20 minutes in.
We're deep in.
Okay. Well, I'm your bearded host, Tyler. That's how I feel about Miles Edgeworth too.
I'm your bespectacled host, Dave, and that is how I feel about all things X-rays.
Okay, that's how I feel about the TSA.
Yeah,
Dave, you hear that?
I do. It's coming around again.
It's a really long train.
Yeah, I hear that. It sounds like the Dave did not prepare a story for this show excuse. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I was going to talk about my senior yearbook, but you know what? I looked at it and I was like, there's not really a whole lot of interesting things because this is like a normal yearbook. I do hear that. That train's coming back around. It's dropped off its Nintendo 64 cargo, and it sounds like it's picked up. Sounds like it's picked up uppercuts. I don't know how that
uppercut.
I don't know how that is possible. But yeah, I mean, it sounds like uppercuts to me. It sounds like the Dave reads some Wikipedia train.
Yeah.
I've got a special note for this one. What I'm about to read was last edited 17 hours ago, Tyler, by Aggressive Naval. Wikipedia, trusted source to journalists around the world. Okay, guys, Mortal Kombat Trilogy is a fighting game released by Midway in 1996 as an update to Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. We talked about that game, Tyler, a long time ago.
We did.
Very long time ago. Unlike the previous title, it was not released in arcades. Parentheses, except for a cameo in a movie. Thanks, Angry Naval. Aggressive Naval, I'm sorry. But it was instead released for the PlayStation, Nintendo 64, Sega Saturn, and PC. Further versions of the game were also released for the Game.com and R-Zone. Mortal Kombat Trilogy features the same gameplay and story as Mortal Kombat 3, but adds characters and stages from the other 3 arcade games, including Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. Some completely new characters were also introduced. New additions to the game included the Aggressor Bar, a meter that fills during the course of the match and temporarily makes a player character faster and stronger. It also features a new finishing move called Brutality, a long combination of attacks that ends with the opponent exploding. The game was met with mixed reviews. The harshest criticism directed at the Nintendo 64 version.
Yeah, I watched the version side by side.
Yeah.
It's
Good.
criticism is well deserved.
Good. I'm ready to hear that because I haven't seen this on any other system.
Yeah.
The biggest criticism on the N64 was that it did not have all the other content that it did on the PlayStation because of the storage space on the cartridge.
So I mean, first off, all right. So I guess it's fitting that it's the 25th ranked game because the research that I've done, it doesn't even seem like it should be ranked 25th. Because really, from what you read on Wikipedia, it's just DLC that you pay full retail for.
Yeah, but you can't really. I feel like you can't really give them too much shit over that because, like, right? I mean, because DLC wasn't a thing at the time.
Well, Mortal Kombat it's kind of an iconic series, right?
It was, I think.
And listen, and here's a brand new system.
Yeah.
The N64, and the PlayStation, the first entry of Mortal Kombat should have been something fucking strong and new, and all we get is the same thing that was on the Super Nintendo with more characters.
Yeah.
It's
Tyler, you get an aggressor bar. Tyler, you get an aggressor bar.
I'm fine with the aggressor bar. The aggressor bar is a good addition.
You think? I never used it. I never could fill it up.
It's good for people like me who don't like doing special moves over and over and over again. It lets you kind of Street Fighter out a little bit better, but it still looks kind of hokey playing Mortal Kombat, and they're just being like AGG at the bottom and then AGGERS at the other side, like.
It's not really a bar.
It's distracting. It's just a letter. It's just spelling aggression slowly.
Right. I got as far as ag, I think.
But it's still, and then playing through it, because I watched the side by side, and the sound and the music and the sound effects and a lot of where the music should be is all off on the N64 version. It's like. All right, for the PlayStation version, it's like you're sitting in front of a speaker listening to everything.
Okay.
On the N64 version, put a concrete wall in front of the speaker, and then you sit on the other side, and that's how you're hearing everything.
Well, I feel like that's how Mortal Kombat should be played, Tyler.
Because listening to the characters when they, select screen Scorpion for PlayStation.
Yeah.
Scorpion for N64.
You really hear that compression. You really hear that compression.
And I know there was a big complaint, like people love the pit levels from Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3.
Yeah.
Those are missing. And then some fatalities that revolved around the environment. The new characters that weren't in it before, they just didn't have that fatality because they just imported everything over from Mortal Kombat 3. New characters, don't worry about making them new animations or anything for their fatalities. No, it's fine. So,
well, what are they going to do? I mean, they had limited space, right?
Yeah.
I mean, was the right thing to say?
No, sorry, Nintendo. Game? You should have made better choices. We're going to go with the other guys.
Yeah. But I mean, I think Midway was just like, whatever, right? I mean, and I think that honestly, it counts for some of the downfall of that franchise, Mortal Kombat. Because I feel like Midway was just like, oh, your hardware can't really handle it. Fuck it. We'll do it anyway.
Just cut a bunch of shit off.
Yeah, we'll do it anyway.
We're not worried about it. I mean, hey, this was the 5th game released for the N64. And then also heralded as the first bad game for the N64. Because I think it was Mario 64, which people still love Mario 64. Wave Race 64, because, of course, everybody, when you're playing a game like that, look at the water. Look at the water.
I think that's the most commonly found.
Yeah, this can't be a bad game. Look at the water. So Wave Race is fine. Pilot Wings, people love the controls. I think Wayne Gretzky Hockey was the 4th game. And supposedly it was the first good 3D hockey game, and then this. So it's just kind of an early Mar on N64.
I don't think I would have been. Honestly, I wouldn't have been disappointed with this.
Yeah.
As a kid, Now, if I knew what the PlayStation version was like, I definitely would have been disappointed. But like if I had an N64 and it was just like, oh yeah, of course I'm going to get Mortal Kombat. Like that's ridiculous to not have Mortal Kombat.
Well, Nintendo did do the good thing and let them have the violence as opposed to the neutered SNES version. So at least it has that going for it.
Yeah, and I think that I was really surprised when I turned this game on because the name implies that it is a compilation.
Yeah.
Like a la Super Mario All-Stars. Like that's exactly what I thought this game was going to be. I thought I was going to turn it on and there was going to be a screen that said, which version of Mortal Kombat would you like to play? 1, 2, or 3. And that never happened. They just took a whole bunch of things from all the different games and mashed them into one, which I think that's a cool idea. I agree that they probably should have done something completely new for the next generation.
The first release
console.
of the next generation, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's the lesser of two evils. Because like if it had been like a compilation game, I would have immediately been turned off because I was like, oh, so I can just play all these games that I already own again on this new console that I just paid $200 for.
And maybe Nintendo was just like, they felt bitter over having the neutered Mortal Kombat version and Mortal Kombat being better on the Genesis. So like, we're just gonna fuck these. We're just gonna fuck the guys who make Mortal Kombat. Yeah, give us Trilogy. We don't care. Make it fit. Can you make us a Sub-Zero game? Can you make us? They reach into a hat. Yeah. Can you make us a side-scrolling Sub-Zero game? Yes. Okay. No. We don't want him to look like a ninja. We want him to have like a scarred face and like have a Kano thing and like a Marty McFly vest. That's what we want. Thank you.
Perfect.
Because I've played that N64 Sub-Zero side-scroller and wow, ooh, that is one of the worst games I've ever played.
So we're definitely.
And I played through the 64, the top 100 SNES games. So that's still eventually we should get to that game.
I think we should add that. I think we should add Superman 64 to the list.
Oh man,
I think those are two N64 games that we definitely have to play before we're through with Dorkly's list.
Yeah, of course. I think I went immediately PlayStation because I think it was actually Shake of Fist Puncher fame who was like, yeah, man, they just don't have any RPGs. And that's all I gave a shit about playing back then. JRPG or GTFO, that was it. So, nope, give me PlayStation. Fuck the N64 shit. I'll just borrow Josh's if I want to play something. It's fine. So, because we had that Mortal Kombat Trilogy tournament at the cabin.
Yep. You won second place.
I don't know. It makes no sense that I got second place.
You won second place as Jax.
Just Jax jumping, chopping, and uppercut. Chop, uppercut. And then I played Kyle of Zombies Got Neighbors fame, who actually knew how to play and just fucking destroyed me with Liu Kang.
Liu Kang is my go-to. It's fucked up because Baraka used to be.
Yeah.
Like Baraka used to be my jam in Mortal Kombat 2, and I was really excited that he was in this game because it's like, oh man, they're throwing Baraka in the mix of all these new characters, and then I played as him, and I was like, nope, fuck this, I'm going to Liu Kang because he is like clearly a much better character than almost all of them.
Because I didn't play enough of the other Mortal Kombats. It's never been my style of fighting game, like at all. Still isn't. Though Trilogy, I think, is a little bit more my speed, although I still don't like it. But I've also, from everything I've read, like the AI and the controls and things like that for Mortal Kombat Trilogy are just, they're not even like Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. Like it's just a whole new thing that upset the diehard fans who had honed their skills over the years, picked up this, and were just garbage at it.
The AI is... I've always had a problem with the single-player AI in Mortal Kombat games. Like, ever since Mortal Kombat 2, it felt like... And we might have even talked about this when we were talking about Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. But you win a match in single-player, and then move on to the second match, win that, and then all of a sudden the game is like, you're not going to win any more matches. Like, it's like you go from fighting a difficulty 1 just crank it up to a 10 on match 3. And it's just like, if you lose that match, they don't dial it back down. It's just like, oh, you lost? We're going to turn it up a little bit more.
You want to beat this DLC in a day? No, friend. No.
The controls are weird.
Yeah.
Because and this kind of ties in with the N64 kind of having a weird controller because it's got those 4 yellow camera buttons in the upper right, and then it's got the big B and A button. The way they got it set up is the punches are on the B and A, I believe it's the punches, and then the kicks are on the far right side of the yellow buttons, and then the middle is run and block. So it's like really, you would think they would just take those 4 yellow buttons and just be like, okay, well, there's 2 punches and 2 kicks.
Yeah.
And there's 4 yellow buttons. So I guess it just makes sense that we could have those there.
But no. Are you sure you want us to do this, Nintendo? Yeah. No. The run block in the middle. I mean, you just be running and blocking. It's fine.
The UI is really, really bizarre.
Yeah.
To get to options, you have to, I believe, hold up and start. Mm-hmm. It's not a menu option. You just like have to do that. Like that's just a thing that you have to do.
I hope they photocopy the instruction manual at Movie Hut. Otherwise, nope, you're not gonna know. And then I like the aggressor bar and the fact that the fastest way to build it apparently is if your opponent is just blocking everything.
Yeah.
So it helps combat the turtlers.
Yeah. It's an anti-turtling mechanic, which I think is Mortal Kombat needed, but I don't think it's a good way to do it because we haven't talked about it yet, but I really like how they do it in the Naruto fighting game. Where you can block for a certain amount of time, and then as you block, eventually your block just breaks, and your block is much less effective at that point. So.
That Naruto fighting game.
We need to talk about that as soon as
that's how Nintendo should do fighting games,
and that's something we need to talk about because I made a gross statement after we played Bushido Blade about 3D fighting games, and I completely forgot about the Naruto fighting game.
Yeah, no, I mean because we sat down and played it for a while, and we'll get there. It's good. It's good. We'll get there
on the eventually list.
So Japanese import, fuck the Americans right. Again. If you go that route for your GameCube fighting games, and you get some good shit. But Goro looks really weird. It looks like they just cut him out in paint from Mortal Kombat 1 and they just slapped him in here because he doesn't look. His sprite looks like it's awful like he was sculpted out of clay. He doesn't look as sharp as Shiva or
because
Kintaro or
I guarantee you that's exactly what they did. That's exactly why.
He's a playable character and I'm just watching him play just what the fuck? But yeah, starting this list off with a bang.
There are a lot of characters, and that's cool.
Yeah.
Because like I mentioned earlier, Baraka's thrown in the mix. A few of the pretty much all the characters that don't make a return are in this game, which is awesome. I don't, and then it gets weird because certain consoles got certain special hidden characters, and the N64 did not. The N64 got Chameleon, but it's a different Chameleon than it is on all the other consoles because Chameleon's another male ninja. He's I believe a gray male ninja on all the other consoles, but on the N64, for some reason, he's a gray female ninja.
Huh. Okay.
So, I don't know. I don't know if it was just a limitation where it's okay, well, we're out of space, so we got to start doing really weird things and taking characters and just applying them to different models. I don't know.
Was this the first appearance of Ermac, or was Ermac in Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3? Because remember Ermac being Ermac was the myth character from Mortal Kombat 2. If you do this, you get Ermac. So that's one thing I applaud the Mortal Kombat team on is they're totally down for inside jokes. We'll just make most of this game an inside joke. There's a level on Mortal Kombat Trilogy to where you're in a subway station and there's a banner in the back, left go to Boone, right to go to Tobias. So, and that being, he's a developer and then also they know the character Noob Saibot,
right.
His name backwards.
Right.
So, yeah.
Have you played or do you plan on playing the new Mortal Kombat?
No.
Is that out? I assume it's out.
I mean, I've heard a lot of things about it. I watched one of Ermac's fatalities on YouTube.
Yeah, that video went
It looked
viral.
pretty brutal. But I can't say man, it would have to be a huge critical revolution that everyone's talking about to get me to sit down and play another Mortal Kombat game. just because outside of playing the first one with my dad, I have not had a really good time playing any Mortal Kombat game.
Yeah.
Just not my thing at all. I hate just sitting there for a few seconds and just your character going up and down and back and trying to get this fucking move while the computer, every single Mortal Kombat game is like that.
Yeah.
Trying to do a move, bam, the computer just kills you. Every fucking Mortal Kombat game. So no.
It's not very fluid.
No.
It doesn't even look fluid. Street Fighter games, even when you're fucking up, Street Fighter
you
games.
You can still punch and shit like that as opposed to
And it doesn't look like you're fucking up unless the person watching knows what you're supposed to be doing. Oh, clearly that guy fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
But if a small child wandered up and looked at the screen, they'd have no idea that you were fucking up. But if you were fucking up in Mortal Kombat, it's obvious to anybody, or it's I don't think that he should be jerking up and down and back and forth like that.
Is Raiden having a seizure because of his electricity powers? It's pretty deep story writing. All right.
Oh,
and what the endings aren't even that good. There's no cohesive story. There's no reason for all these characters to be fighting in the tournament, or you want to find all of their endings and see where things connect.
There is a story, but it's pretty
so
much
super loose and just Mortal Kombat 3 again.
It's marriage rapture.
So
Shao Kahn's marriage rapture again.
Yeah. So there's not really a whole incentive to play it for diehards to have to relearn everything. There's not that much of a payoff to start all over again.
You may not be surprised to learn that the N64 version is actually a port.
Nope.
It's a port. Yeah, it wasn't developed independently. It was totally like a chop job where it's okay, well, we'll take this from the PC version, we'll take this from the PlayStation version. Yeah. But
so much respect, Dorkly, and this is how we're starting off this list.
Well, I understand why it's on the list, right? I feel like you and I could do a whole show on lists at this point. Because the way you do a list,
top 25 best video game lists is what we'll do in 10 years.
No, here's the strategy, right? Okay, it's a list. You start from 100, you start from 25, you start from the high number, right? Well, that game has to be recognizable. Otherwise, someone's just going to pass over your list.
Yeah.
So, it has to be something that maybe doesn't belong on that spot. I feel like Final Fight on IGN's Top 100 SNES games was a much better game than 100 spot.
Yeah.
But I think they were just people have heard of Final Fight.
We don't want it to be Uniracers.
Right, exactly.
We don't want it to be Buster Bust Loose.
Yeah. It's got to be something that someone sees and they're like, oh, yeah, that game. What else is on this list?
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like maybe that's why Mortal Kombat Trilogy is on here. But I don't know because I haven't played any other fucking N64 games. So they might all be, as far as I know, all the other N64 games, excluding 24 more, are shittier than Mortal Kombat Trilogy, which I've heard from multiple people that the N64 is the bastard console.
Yeah.
It is the console that had the crappiest games, that had the worst aesthetic. I don't know.
I can see where no developer would really, outside of Nintendo's first party stuff, which I feel like their choice with the N64 drove away developers, strengthened their first party, and then you see that reverberate through every fucking console they've had since then. Because has Square done much for Nintendo at all since then? Or is that just
handheld?
Yeah, okay, handheld, that's true.
But that's about it. And the majority, of course, has been through Sony.
Yeah.
For good or bad. I'd say bad, but
But yeah, overall, I'm looking forward to playing it. The only game that wasn't on the list that I was expecting to be on it, because I heard mixed things about it, but I heard more positive things about Quest 64.
Yeah.
Just because it was one of the very few RPGs.
I've seen the box art for that.
Yeah. But I'd like to play it sometime.
Okay, we'll add that to the list.
Eventually.
Why not? Yeah. Eventually,
Fine.
or something.
Eventually or something.
I feel really bad because we haven't really talked about the game, but we already did.
But you can just go back to listen to Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3.
Because this game is Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look that much better than the Super Nintendo version.
Yeah, that's what really gets me. So, ugh.
It's still got a run button. I still think it's awful. I think for me, I'm just regurgitating things I know that I said in Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 episode, but the run button was the death of Mortal Kombat for me, because not only is like, why do you have a button to run? Run should be double tap forward. Like that's just what run should be.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be a button that you have to hold down and continue to hold down while you input a combo. Like that is not good design.
Yeah.
That sucks. And there also shouldn't be a block button, but that's a Mortal Kombat staple, so I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
It's just when you start adding like, oh, other fighting games allow you to run. We should allow our characters to do that too, but we'll do it in a fun, different way. We'll add one more button to the mix that you have to worry about.
Oh, man. That's the N64 controller is perfect for this. It has so many buttons in all the wrong places.
I reconfigured that controller immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, immediately. Because I
Watching the Z
playing-
button on the back before. I don't know, reset the game.
You can't even assign it, which really pissed me off because I had this like, I'm an old school PC gamer, as you know. So like one of my things is when I play a game, I gotta configure my controls, because you had to do that on every PC game because it either wasn't configured for you or the configuration was just like made up. Like they just didn't care. Like you want to move forward, press 3. You want to move backwards, press open parentheses. Okay, let me configure these controls. So I started playing Mortal Kombat Trilogy on the N64, and like things just weren't making sense. And I was like, all right, I'm going to configure these controls. I went in and I was like, okay, I set all the punches and kicks for the yellow.
Well, after you
camera
figured out where
buttons.
options was.
Right. After I did up and start. So I configured those camera buttons for punches and kicks. And then I was like, you know what? I want to do like I don't use run much at all. And I don't really want to use my thumbs for run because I want to use my thumbs for, the beaten up buttons. So I'll just set the trigger for run, because then I can just use my index finger on the back of the controller. It'll be great. It'll free up my thumbs to do the things that my thumbs need to do. The trigger wasn't even an option on the list of buttons that you can map.
It was so early, like any developers were like, I don't know what to do with that. No, thank you.
You use it. You use that.
Oh, you
button.
actually use it in the game?
Yep. To go through menus, you hit that back trigger to go back a menu. That's all it's used for.
Did not know that.
You cannot configure it
Because I
anything
remember
else.
we played at the cabin. We just I didn't know it. So every time I wanted to do something, I just had to restart the system.
Yeah. There's a tournament mode.
Yeah.
There's an 8-on-8 tournament mode, which I don't know why I got excited about, because when I ran the tournament at the cabin, it is much easier to just make your own bracket like on paper or keep it in your mind than it is to do the 8-on-8 tournament that's built into the game, because you can't configure it. The 8-on-8 tournament is pretty much all just whoever wins one match progresses. So you can't set it like best 2 out of 3 or anything like that, which of course, I mean, come on, you got to do best 2 out of 3, especially when it's a whole bunch of scrub noobs like us playing the game.
Yep.
You can't just do single elimination. I guess if you're like pro level, okay, maybe. But we're not there. We're not there. We need to we need an average. We need to
be able
flatten
to
that
figure
bell
out
curve
moves
out. Yeah.
and somebody else accidentally kill somebody.
Yeah.
And
There's a whole lot of wait, don't hit me yet. Wait.
Wait. Oh, sorry. I know that was a projectile. Look, you hit me once. We'll even each other out. Then go scoot back to the other corners. How'd you run? No.
What's Agra?
Do you have any achievements for this game?
Do you have any achievements for this game?
Yeah, I bullshitted like 3.
You bullshitted 3. Yeah. Well, hey, at least you're prepared. You give yours, and I'll try to come up with mine as you do it.
As the first one is, hey, you did it again, probably. And that's beat the game of Sub-Zero.
Okay.
The other one is more ninjas, which is where you beat the game as Chameleon, since he's all the ninjas.
Okay.
I think that's also something that always got me in Mortal Kombat. Like
The palette swaps?
You get Sub-Zero and Scorpion. Okay, cool. And then it's just like, it felt like other editions of D&D where they just find that one thing people like and just bloat the shit out of it, to where you end up with like fucking 20 ninjas at the end of Mortal Kombat.
Or yeah, it is. It's like, hey dog, you like critical hits? Here's 400 critical hit feats.
Yep. What's a color? You like name a color. We got a ninja for that. You can name. How about clear? Okay, sure. We'll do Chameleon. We'll do a clear ninja. It's fine. Whatever you want.
It.
Name what do you like to do? I like to smoke. All right, we'll make a ninja on that. It's fine.
420 blaze it.
What about robot ninjas? Yeah, fucking we'll get your fucking robot ninjas. It's fine. Next is gonna be pirate ninjas. I don't know what the fuck's gonna go on.
Ooh, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's in the new Mortal Kombat. That's what Ermac is.
And
it's,
then
it's Armac.
Armac.
Yeah, you like that.
And then the last one is I look weird, and that's Yubito Goro.
The one that I was able to come up with in the time that you gave yours was Chameleon Air. And in order to unlock Chameleon Air, you need to win the game 1,000,000 times as Chameleon.
Yeah, love that shit. Oh man, that's like that fucking Mega Man. What was it, Mega Man 9 that they came out DLC for like PS3?
Yeah,
where that Mega Man, one of the things is like play Mega Man for 24 hours straight is one of the achievements. It's just like, and you get not just set your controller down; it has to be in constant motion for like 24 hours.
Jesus,
to get this fucking achievement. There were a few that were totally don't lose one bar of health for an entire playthrough, like start to finish.
A no-hit run?
Yeah, they make it like, nope. We want some of these achievements to be your life's work. That's what we really want to do here.
Okay. How about my might was tested and it was broken? And in order to, I unlocked that a bunch. In order to unlock that, you pick the character you're best with. You get about halfway through, and then the AI becomes impossible to beat, and you just give up. You just give up because you're like, I could do this on the Super Nintendo. Like, and it wasn't really easy to do on the Super Nintendo, but I could fucking do it. I haven't gotten worse. I remember all these moves. I still can't do the combos, but come on, it's Mortal Kombat combos. It's just like, there's no point.
No, thank you. Just have Raiden do, have Raiden play Red Rover and just...
Liu Kang's bicycle kick. That's all you need to know is Liu Kang's bicycle kick. Yeah, that's all. That's all. I guess I've hacked into the system. In order to unlock, I've hacked into the system. That's a horrible name. You have to enter all the combat codes. Because we haven't talked about combat codes.
Oh, man. I fucking forgot about combat codes.
Combat codes were in Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. Before you enter a battle, you and your opponent can frantically press buttons for skulls and threes and like little portal symbols that show up in these three little boxes. And if they're configured in a way that is a code, then something can happen in the battle. And it could be something as big as no health bars to maybe just a message that pops up that says, I think my favorite said something like, I mean, it was like indicative of the time. It came up and said, no fear. like it was just like, wow, okay. This is definitely a 90s game.
Combat codes are, I don't know, they're like Coke points. Like you just have to like, why did Mortal Kombat enter a relationship with like Coke? And whenever you twist off certain caps on Coke and there's a Mortal Kombat code you can try underneath it, it's like that kind of ridiculous, who's going to know what bullshit.
There was a... Shoot, what was it called? I think it was called Willy West mode. I think it was my favorite combat code, where you enter it in and all the characters just continuously morph into other characters. They just constantly change, and all the characters have regeneration. So it's like this ongoing battle where you and your opponent just are changing into different characters and regenerating, and it's pretty much never ends.
Okay, that's pretty good.
That's fun.
It's pretty good.
Tyler.
Yes, Dave.
I've had a lot of fun today. I hope that everyone listening hung in there.
Because it's a hard game to fucking talk about.
When we've already talked about it, it's really tough. So maybe we should have thought about that when we were choosing lists. Maybe we should have been like, you know what? We pretty much already did this game. But other than that, I think this is games that I totally want to play.
So here's Yakety Sax for 45 minutes. Just go around and do things about your day to this. It'll be more fun.
If Tyler, if you were to give this game a beard that just summed up how you feel about it, what kind of beard would you give it?
Well, normally Brad Pitt is a good-looking guy.
How do you mean normally?
Normally, but there's sometimes where he's not a good-looking guy. One of those times when he was going through this sort of hobo phase where he only wore like the hacky sack looking hats and old clothes, and he had this like long graying goatee.
Okay.
So it's like not a beard, but just like not really like a Fu Manchu, just this dirty little bit of like goatee fringe. So I give it that hobo chin fringe of Brad Pitt.
It's depressing to me to hear you say, and Brad Pitt didn't look very good. Tyler, Brad Pitt has always looked better than like both of us.
Yeah, it's different. He's a celebrity. It's fine.
Okay, that's fair. All right, little Brad Pitt.
That's why we don't have a YouTube channel.
That's exactly. Tyler, I don't know why I said that so country, but if you were to
Tyler Wayne,
if you were to give this, that's really bad. A pair of glasses. What kind of glasses would it be?
I may have given them away before a long, long time ago.
In the Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 episode.
Maybe. Sally Jesse Raphael's red-rimmed glasses.
Yeah.
I know I've given it before, but like whenever I want to come with beards and glasses, I was like, out of fashion beards, out of fashion glasses.
You don't want to give him Miles glasses?
I didn't even think about that until beforehand. That's also good.
What's his last name?
I don't know.
I can't remember.
Man, I haven't seen Murphy Brown in so long. Yeah. So long. We should have just done... We should have watched 6 episodes of Murphy Brown and then just talked about it instead of Mortal Kombat Trilogy.
I'm looking it up. I can't end this episode. Miles Silverberg, Tyler. Miles Silverberg.
All right. I can appreciate that because that's a dynasty name in Suikoden. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Was it? There's a Jewish dynasty at Suikoden?
Well, your tacticians are all from this prestigious. Most of them are from this prestigious line, the Silverberg family.
Okay. So Sally Jesse Raphael meets Miles Silverberg.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Half and half.
The Willie West. They just keep morphing back and forth.
It was Sally Jesse Raphael's glasses, but they imported Miles glasses, Miles Silverberg's glasses.
I got one more question for you, Tyler. What I want to know is, how much is this game on Amazon?
You bought it. You tell me.
I bought it. I bought it on eBay.
Yeah. So for a lot less.
For a lot less than it's listed on Amazon. Correct. So with that in mind, with that knowledge that everything on Amazon is more expensive than anywhere else, how much do you think this game is?
$14.50.
Tyler, actual retail value of Mortal Kombat Trilogy used on the Nintendo 64 at the time of this recording is $19.55.
Well, I won. So
you won, yeah. You won. You won Price is Right Solitaire.
Always a fun game to play. Well, we could make this the shortest episode we've done in a long time, or we could take a few calls, hopefully funny ones, to bring up the laughs per minute on this episode.
Welcome to the new list.
Bring up our LPM score.
Tyler, Dave, stop giving a shit.
Well, we didn't have anything good to say about this. We hope you did. Let's do it. Bail us out, listener, because, why listen to the podcast?
Tyler, there are some episodes that I promote on Reddit. This will not be one of them.
Well, we're doing Dorkly's top 25 N64 games, starting with 24.
24, exactly. I was even thinking about contacting Dorkly and being like, hey, just to let you guys know, we're doing your top 25 N64 list. I'm not doing that. I can't. I don't think I can bring myself to do it on Wednesday and be like, God, I really don't want anyone at Dorkly to listen to this.
Well, they should have picked a better game, I guess, because this game, I just thought this game was garbage. So there you go. Go play your Super Nintendo, kids. It's better.
Let's see. We got a text message here from Grandmeister.
All right, yeah.
Wiley Emmons. Yeah. Who said he was listening to a TADPOG episode, and I mentioned that I wasn't able to get images like I should be able to get through Google Voice. He says to check my email address because I send them all to the email address. He says that's at least how it works for him. I get so much spam that it is impossible for me to receive anything in email. Like, it is just impossible. If I get something in the email that isn't from someone that I know, like if I get an email from Google, just fucking get it. I'm not looking at it. But thank you, Wiley. I'm glad that it does work.
It does work somehow. Yeah.
It's not just me. Let's see. Here is a call from 763.
Fucking TADPOG. This was Jay calling in. I've got I think it's a pretty good kill, fuck, marry, and I guarantee that Tadpog sweetheart Josh Nance will get a boner because of it. We're going to do video game swords, all right? So we've got the Buster Sword from Final Fantasy VII,
Okay.
the Mazamune from Chrono Trigger, and the Hero Sword, or I guess it's the Master Sword from Legend of Zelda. Go.
Okay. Well, right off the bat, I know which sword I'm going to bed. That's the Buster Sword because it has a hole in
It
it.
has holes. That's exactly what I was thinking.
So, I mean, you got that. Because, man, when you said swords, Fish Lips J, thanks for calling, by the way, I immediately was like, I don't think I want to fuck a sword. Just going to throw that out there. Don't think that I want to do that. I guess Masamune is actually two elemental children. So, I guess I can't
you can
marry
fuck
them.
those weird wind aliens if you wanted to.
But you can't. You also can't marry. That would be like marrying a set of children twins. That's like wrong on a bunch of levels.
You cannot marry a sword in Indiana. You can't do it.
So I guess I'm going to kill
Massa and
Masamune?
Moon will cater your sword wedding in Indiana.
I guess I'll have to kill the Masamune,
Yeah.
and by default, I'll end up marrying the Master Sword.
Okay. Mine's pretty different. I'm gonna fuck the Buster Sword as well, though.
Holes.
We're both agreed. It has two, so we can tag team the Buster Sword. I'm gonna kill the Master Sword. I've never been crazy about it.
Yeah.
And in every Zelda, there's always something better. You know,
And it doesn't
like
look
the
that
Harold Fableton Master Sword. Oh, here this like really big sword's a lot better. Or why don't you dip it in gold and that one's a lot better. Or yeah, no thanks, Master Sword. Don't need you. Then I'm gonna marry the Masamune. It's got a good pedigree.
You mean pedophile?
It's a good pedophile. Yeah.
I covered. It's two children twins, Tyler.
Okay, that's fine.
Well, they look like children.
Well, they put it together and you can fuck the mouth of that big bloated monster.
You could go with that old like anime trope that's just awful, where it's like, well, they look like children, but they're actually 4,000 years old, so it's totally okay.
Okay.
Thanks for calling Fish Lips
Thanks,
Jay.
Jay. I feel like it's been a long time since we've heard from Jay.
Mainly because we haven't played calls in a while.
That's true.
Yeah, and hey, keep them coming. Keep them coming. I don't mind a Fish Lips J Cody blockade. I
Yeah.
don't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind it at all. Not one bit. Next call. This looks like it's from Lord Dennis.
Hello, Tadpog. This is Dennis. I was just calling because I had a question for you guys, one that came to me as I listened to your recent show. And it's the beginning of March, so I just wanted to tell you guys, hope you had a happy Easter, because I'm sure it's been about 5 fucking weeks before you get this call. So
Wow.
Nailed
hope
it.
you
Wow.
enjoyed yourselves. But anyway, my question is, you're always talking about scooters and video games, and my question for you guys is, what video game best represents your gooter and why? Personally, if you had to describe your cock as a video game, how would you relate it? I think mine would probably be something like Duck Hunt, because it's old. It's mainly a one-player game. You're always shooting it at the TV screen, and when it's over, someone's laughing at you. So anyway, hope you guys have a good one, and I enjoy listening to the show. And if I call tomorrow, I'll look forward to listening to both of these in 4 to 6 weeks. Take it easy, man. Bye.
Good call. Not fair, Dennis. It's not fair to come up with something really funny and then call in, because it makes us look like we're two unfunny fucks. Because I guarantee you we're not going to be able to come up with something on the spot that's nearly as good as that.
Shit. Yeah, because I'm trying to think.
My go-to is Heavy Barrel.
You spend all that time working it up, and then one shot, and you lose it immediately. WarioWare, maybe? Because I put mustaches and shit on it.
What?
Because I like to have girls do that elephant move with it.
What? I don't even know what you're talking about now.
The WarioWare game for the Wii, where like there'd be the games where you have to hold the Wii remote.
I get that. But
Yeah,
what is the elephant move?
I'll show you one more time. We'll do it off mic. But you will have to pick up an apple, and it's really weird.
Solid Snake.
Yeah,
It's a good one.
There you go. That's good. Liquid Snake, I guess.
Not a great one. It's not a duck hunt, Dennis, you bastard.
Duck Hunt's good. Oh, Persona, because my dick is perpetually stuck in high school. I don't know.
Not high schoolers.
High school.
Let's see what else.
Dr. Mario, because it takes a lot of pills to get going.
There you go.
Tetris, because everybody wants a straight one and you never get it.
No. I'm done. I am done. I feel like I need to prepare. We need to listen to these calls. We need to screen these calls. I really do not feel good about this episode, Tyler.
That's okay.
This is why we need to do 3 takes. We need to record the show 3 times and then edit it together. People pay for this now, Tyler. This is not good enough to pay for. Here's another call. This is from 319.
Hey guys, Kyle from Iowa. It's Friday, 11 o'clock. Temperature is about 5 degrees. Anyways, Dave, how's your knee doing? All right, keep up the good work, guys. Bye.
Good question.
Thank you, Kyle.
Yes, thank you. Excellent question. I'm sorry you paid for this episode, by the way. My knee actually popped when we were recording Roller Coaster Tycoon.
It scared Nicole.
And Nicole looked at me and said, "Was that your knee?" So yes, it was. That sounded painful. It was painful. That's just not to steal from Louis C.K., but that's just how it is now. That's just my knee now.
Yeah.
So that's great. Maybe I'll pop it on mic for you one day. All right, here's another call. This is from 503.
Hey, Tyler. Hey, Dave. This is Phil in Oregon. Hey, whoever else is there. I'm guessing Josh, probably.
Not today.
Yeah, Tyler's dad. Yeah, I'm curious. Dave submitted his team to the Blood Bowl League, and it was themed after popular cereal mascots, which got me wondering, what's your guys' favorite cereal? And has it changed since when you were a kid? I guess mine is Honey Bunch of Oats. My parents never really gave me a really sugary sweet cereal, so Frosted Flakes was kind of the best I could get when I was young. But it's evolved to Honey Bunches of Oats, and yeah, I bet that would make for some real conversation. So have at it, guys. And before I let you go, I want to issue a challenge to all the listeners and callers. Let's have a month of people calling up in the Josh voice. Let's see how good this is a contest, maybe. See who has the best Josh voice impersonation. I've done it once or twice. We had the gentleman in Utah, I think, did it a couple weeks ago. Well, you guys are getting this probably in April right now. It's March 6th. So, a month ago, we had a Josh voice impersonator on there. So let's do a solid month of April Josh voice calls because the people demand it. So have a good one. Enjoy whatever game you guys are playing, or most likely I'll call in show, and I will be listening. Yep.
Thanks for calling, Phil.
Thank you, Sandwich Lord Phil Hawkins.
Remember, you paid for this episode. So hope you enjoyed it. Did I talk about my team? I know I mentioned that I made a team. Did I tell you about it?
I know about it because I've seen the pictures, but I don't think we've talked about it.
My team is Mild Oats. It's a human team where all the players are named after cereal mascots. I say that because about 20 seconds into Phil's call, he turned into a robot. He turned into a robot, and if you're not spending 95% of your brain power concentrating on his call, you may not know what he said. I don't eat a whole lot of cereal now.
Yeah, I don't either.
What do you have a favorite cereal now?
It's changed progressively. I remember Cocoa Puffs probably for the majority of my life were my favorite cereal.
Yeah.
Loved Cocoa Puffs.
Would you say that you were cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs?
I was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. There was a brief stint where I was really into Fruity Pebbles, but eventually I just realized I'm just kind of eating rainbow cardboard.
Yeah.
Because
sugar, don't forget.
Because it just all mushes together. It's I'm just eating rainbow paste. It's I got past Fruity Pebbles.
The best part was the milk afterwards.
Yeah.
Because it makes it that pinkish purple.
Let's see. There was Brandon of Axelay fame got me on a Oh, what's the name of that cereal now?
Cocaine.
Cocaine. Oh, no, there was a cereal. It's just one word that I was all about this fucking cereal
Chex.
in college.
Oh, Friends, right?
Friends. No, I remember because he went shopping with Jacob and I one time, and he's like, oh, man, this cereal, you can hardly ever find this cereal. And it's true. Like, normally there'd be tons of this other kind of cereal, or every other kind of cereal, but this one, I remember I got very into it for like 2 years. That's all I ate was this kind of cereal. It's going to kill me that I can't think of it now.
What was in it?
It was really, really crunchy. It was really Man, the cereal was not country, but apparently my brain is like, no, bro. Tell everybody his cereal was country. It was crunchy.
What was it? You had a box of cereal. I remember in college, you had a box of cereal, I thought, on your refrigerator. Good Friends?
The Kashi Good Friends.
Yeah. That was a cereal, right?
I think somebody bought that for us as a joke. Like, somebody come over, you know what you guys are to me? And then pulls it out. Good Friends. So that just sat up there.
It had I think a multicultural theme to it.
Yep.
It was a weird cereal. Not because it was multicultural, just because it was blatantly hey, look, these two people are different colors. They're friends, and they're on a cereal box called Good Friends. Do you get it?
Buy it or you're racist.
Right, exactly. We dare you to not buy this.
It's not good, but you know what? You know what tastes better? Not being racist. So there you go. Buy this cereal. I was also on Honey Bunches of Oats for a very long time. I'll still eat that cereal periodically, but cereal for me now is just like when I'm trying to lose weight and I just want something sweet.
Yeah.
I can get a lot of mileage out of the calories in a bowl of cereal. So this one cereal that I've been eating now, I don't remember what the name of it is. I just know it by that one. It's just it's double chocolate, has this pudding kind of stuff in it whenever milk hits it. I like it now.
Crave.
Thank you.
Fucked up that I know that.
Yeah. I like Crave. That just hits, because normally when I want something sweet, it has to be chocolate or I'm left unsatisfied.
Yeah.
There's only that sweet itch that chocolate can scratch for me. So
I'm going to take that out of context.
Yeah.
There's your stinger.
Oh man. Now because Phil asked that question, it reminds me of another story I was thinking about today, about once upon a time when tuna fish was contraband in my household. Because as you get older, your tastes change.
Right.
I thought tuna fish sandwiches, tuna fish salad was terrible. I couldn't stand it. Then suddenly one day in 8th grade, Mom, she didn't have anything else. She gave me this, and I just thought it was amazing. Thought it was fucking amazing. So, man, I fucking ate tuna fish like a motherfucker.
Was it just straight up tuna fish, or was it the whole
eggs, mayo,
okay, yeah.
pickles.
So it was a good shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Mom liked that I liked this. So normally, the way you were with bologna when you were little,
man.
that's how this streak I went on with tuna fish.
Yeah.
For some reason, it really pissed off my dad. He thought I was eating like an episode of that Kroll show where they had that too much tuna skit where he was just he just took a fucking stand no more. You are not eating any more tuna fish sandwiches. That's it. You're eating too many.
Did you start to smell or something?
I don't know. I don't know. We've always gone back and forth about weight and things like that.
Yeah.
I'm never my dad's never been you're at a good weight now. It's always you weigh too much or you weigh too little. And it's always a thing. So I guess maybe he thought he's fat because he's eating way too much tuna fish. So he said I couldn't have it anymore. And my mom would sneak me tuna fish sandwiches.
Slide them under the door.
If I was in my bed, and he'd already gone to bed, she'd bring me a sandwich in there and I'd eat it. Or she'd pack my lunch and make sure I had a tuna fish sandwich in my lunch or whatever like that. And it went on for such a long time.
Toasted bread.
Yeah. See, I'm weird about my toast. I don't I like it to be just toasted where it has some crunch, but it hasn't changed color.
Oh, see, I like it. I like to change color a little bit.
Yeah.
I want it to be just a little golden, no brown.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cut into triangles.
Yeah.
Gotta cut into triangles.
That's how I eat tuna fish too. Yep.
Nice. So next time I see your mom, I'm gonna ask her for a Tyler tuna fish sandwich.
My dad's gonna turn around and
Okay. I like 3 cereals. Here they are. Lucky Charms, because I always loved Lucky Charms as a kid. That has never changed. Rice Krispies, because it's fucking Rice Krispies. And you can eat it in a treat form.
I don't think I've ever had Rice Krispies not in treat form. I've never
Really?
had a bowl of Rice Krispies.
Well, I'll tell you what. Next time I get a box, I'll have you over. You can have Rice Krispies for the first time. I'll record it. We'll put it in the show notes at tadpog.com.
We can do that episode where we just make up what we think the game is about based on the cover art.
Yeah.
It'll be like the worst audio because we're eating Rice Krispie treats and trying to talk about this.
I feel like there probably is a Snap, Crackle, Pop Rice Krispie Treats game. There had to have been.
Had to have been. Or that's what we're going to make. We'll make it and go big.
Third one's Cheerios. Staple. Cheerios is a staple. I've had it since I was a fucking baby, and I still love Cheerios. I don't fuck around with Honey Nut Cheerios or any of the fucking variations of Cheerios. It's straight up Cheerios or GTFO. Don't add sugar to it. Don't add anything to it. Put the Cheerios in a bowl, add milk, you're done.
So now that's why I wanted to sit you and Ken on opposite sides of the table. Both of you can just eat Cheerios. You get them out of a bowl and she'll just pick one individual one up at a time and eat it. That's how she likes it. Also, no sugar, no, just one at a time. Drop half of them in her lap and then eat the rest one at a time.
Well, sometimes that's how I eat it. Depends on how drunk I am. I think that this contest is great. The Josh impression contest. Are you up for it?
Yeah.
Color Mage.
I'm always down for people humiliating one of my best friends. It's fine.
No, it's out of love. It's not humiliation. It's out of love. Everyone loves Josh. Color Mage John Sullivan sent me some more prints that I would love to use as a prize
for who has the best
Josh. So if you want to call in and give us your best Josh Nance impression, call 270-883-2555. Leave us your impression. I guess you got to tell us your name, and you have to keep listening to know if you won. And then
we'll announce it sometime.
And then whoever does the let's face it, we're probably not gonna get more than 4. So the 4 people who call in each get a print from Color Mage John Sullivan.
Or whoever can trick Nicole into thinking that it's actually Josh.
Well, see, I definitely want to have Josh on that episode to judge who did the best version.
Josh and his mom. It's gonna be great.
That would be, they could close their eyes. Like Josh's mom could close her eyes, and then we'll play the call, and we'll be like, was that your son? Or was that a random person on the internet?
I've tricked Josh's mom before for like 5 seconds. Like whenever he'll call and I'll answer the phone. Yeah. Hello, hey, you want to talk to Josh? That's pretty good. I know. I think we probably take one more.
One more.
One more.
Okay. This call is from 270. Google Translate starts out as D druggies high in pricing. So we'll see what's up with that.
Motherfucking TADPOG! Hello, it's Karen. Am I still the virginity thief?
Yes.
You tell
I
us.
haven't taken any V cards in Texas yet. Doesn't mean I'm not trying, but I haven't taken any yet that I'm aware of. I don't know. So I'm almost caught up on the F. Oh, and by the way, sorry about all your snow. I hear you're under like another 29 feet of snow or whatever. I have no idea. It's pretty chilly here in Texas today. It's only about 55. And people flip out when it goes below 60. So it's pretty funny to watch all these Texans wear coats and scarves when it's 55 degrees. But anyway, I'm just listening to the episode. I don't even know what fucking game you're talking about. I have no idea. But it's where Dave is talking about his pink semen and Spirograph, the toy. And I had one of those when I was little. And it's making me giggle thinking about it. Because I had the sparkle one, which had all the glitter, and you throw all the paint and the glitter and shit in it and make really terrible artwork, but it had a cool little theme song, sparkle, sparkle, Spirograph, yeah. So I just wanted to know, my question is, what was your favorite toy besides video games when you were little? I loved my Teddy Ruxpin. I was a big fan of him. I loved Polly Pocket, which that's a pretty girly toy. If you had one, I'm not judging you, but it was like a little bitty case, and you opened it up, and it had like little bitty dolls in it, which they don't even probably sell them now for like choking hazards for weak-ass babies and stuff. But anyway, what was your favorite toy? And I'd love to hear from you guys. I will be home around Easter, so hopefully I can come record. We can talk about Reese's eggs and Cadbury and shit.
Would have been nice.
Would have been great.
Bye.
Bye, Taryn. Thanks for calling. I'm glad that we confirmed that you're not dead. So that's good because you're very nice.
Well, that's a very old call.
Well, no, we
Yeah, she texted me.
you. We confirmed that you're not dead, so that's good. We were legitimately concerned. We're still going to have your memorial service, though.
I'm going to serial style do an investigative journalism to all the guys you slept with, and I'm going to have each of them one by one on the show to talk about their experiences.
I think it's a good idea.
It's going to be great.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that's good.
That'll be our next list.
I like the idea that Polly Pocket is like a life test for babies, where it's just like, we're going to give this infant a Polly Pocket and leave it alone in a room with Polly Pocket for 20 minutes. If the baby survives, it's going to be okay.
God,
like this is the government gives a baby a Polly Pocket and like, all right, well, if they die, then they're not strong enough.
There's zero way Kenna is not like immediately eating Polly Pocket. And there's zero way she is not just immediately like, I mean, everything. Like this iPad, okay, that sounds good. The other day, like I'm holding her and I have my earphones in and she just like reaches out, pulls up my earphone, pops it right in her mouth. And it's like, I have really dirty ears. So it's like, oh, poor baby.
Dirty ears.
Poor baby.
That's where you have to hide the tuna fish.
Fuck you, Dad.
So, favorite toy? Did you have one?
Oh, well, I had the Ghostbusters house that I turned into the robot that I dismantled.
Yep.
That was good for a while.
And made into your friend.
Yep.
That was a good story. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, we were in the original TADPOG studio. Or maybe I was obsessed with Cool Spot. I had that one Cool Spot figurine. I loved the shit out of that. Legos, Lego Men.
Yeah,
That's
Legos.
probably it.
Legos are the one that I hear the most about.
Because I mean, I didn't care about like actually building the Legos. I only cared about the guys and putting swords and shit like that on them. So probably Legos. Just the men, making them do battle.
I pulled this up because I couldn't remember what it was called, but I wanted to pull it up for several different reasons. I wanted to know what the name of it was, and I also wanted to have it for the show notes. There was a toy that I wanted for Christmas. It was a Ghostbusters toy. I think I may have mentioned this on the show a long time ago. It was a Ghostbusters toy, and it was really, it was just a cheap action figure. Like it wasn't like the Ghostbusters station or anything like that. It's just, here it is, Tyler. It's just a skeleton. And the way that it works is,
Man, I had that.
The rib cages open up and wrap around the Ghostbuster or whatever. And the Ghostbuster's head pokes up into the skull, causing the skeleton's eyes, yellow eyes, to bug out. I had dreams about this toy. I saw this toy like at Walmart or Toys R Us somewhere. I had dreams about this toy. That's all I wanted for Christmas was this like $5 toy. Like nothing else really mattered. Did not get that toy, and I was crushed. Crushed as, a spoiled white child in the middle of America could only be. I did not get the specific Ghostbusters toy that I asked for. So I remember buying that skeleton. It's called Bad to the Bone Ghost. I remember buying Bad to the Bone Ghost with my own money shortly after. I used Christmas money to buy Bad to the Bone Ghost. And that was my favorite fucking toy forever. Bad to the Bone Ghost appeared in so many Ninja Turtles skirmishes. It was just like just random Ghostbuster skeleton shows up and wraps around Donatello. So, yep, Bad to the Bone Ghost. No questions asked.
That was good. That was good, Taryn. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Good question. I think we're pretty good. I think we're done.
Well, we're definitely done. I don't know if it was pretty good, but we're definitely done.
Thanks for listening, everybody. You can find the show on iTunes, Stitcher, or SoundCloud. So don't miss the next episode. I don't remember what we're going to be talking about.
We're going to do an all-call show.
Yeah, there you go.
We're going to do an all-call show.
So we'll make up for that. That'll be our next show. And then after that will be IGN's 24th ranked game.
Dorkly's.
Dorkly. Fuck, that's going to be hard to break.
I know.
Dorkly's 24th ranked N64 game.
Just practice it. I just practice it every day. Spend 10 minutes being like, Dorkly's top 25. Gets tough because it is like second nature at this point to say IGN's top 100.
Yep. If you take pity on us, you still want to help us out.
Yeah.
You can go to iTunes, leave us a 5-star written review.
Clearly,
it helps.
Clearly, that 1 star has shaken us to our core, and now we cannot perform the way that we used to.
Nope. We're just gonna be thinking about that every time. So it helps us out, and it helps you has you give a little more control over the show. So if there's an episode you want us to do, or a guest host you want for a certain show, just put it in there, and we promise that we will get to it eventually.
Don't worry, guys. Like Tyler said, we're going to be back. We're going to be talking about calls and people listen to the show and like to call in. So those are usually pretty fun. If you want to be one of those people, please call in at 270-883-2555. I can almost guarantee you that we won't get to your call immediately because we've already got a big backlog from March. But we will get to it eventually, just like our list. And man, there's nothing more I love than a longtime listener, first time caller, except for, of course, our longtime listeners, longtime callers. So I mean, it's like I love you equally, but different. If you want to. In the meantime, you can find us on TADPOG.com. That's where the show notes live. I will definitely supply Tyler with a link to Bad to the Bone Ghost for the show notes in case anyone is curious what that weird fucking thing looks like. You can find us on Facebook. We're at facebook.com/TADPOG. There's a lot of cool people there doing a lot of cool shit. Tyler will normally make an episode post, and that is a really good place to let us know how you feel about an episode. Was this episode worse than Leather Goddesses of Phobos? I hope not.
No.
Was it worse than Tyler and Dave fail at maths?
No.
Maybe.
We took calls that we didn't even have a good time recording that episode.
That's true. At least I had a good time recording this one. Although, man, I just can't. I feel like we got to cut Lord Dennis's question and like actually come up with some good answers.
That can be our intro story for the next episode. Will be us properly answering that question.
You can also find us on Twitter. We are at twitter.com. That's the website.
You find us on Twitter. We're at Twitter.
We're at twitter.com. Just type TADPOG in there. Just type in Tyler. Friend the first one on there. Just follow him. Who knows? You can find us. We're at TADPOG_podcast. It's cumbersome. I realize. All my brain function right now is being used on Dennis's question again. So that's where I am right now. I'm trying to come up with an answer for that. You can call us, like I said. You can, man, if you really want to, you can find us on Patreon. If you want to, like, I don't know why you would want to after listening to this. This is Miller's favorite part of the show, where I'm just like, this is the worst. We're at patreon.com/TADPOG. All donations are much appreciated. It keeps us flush and surge, which I'm drinking right now.
Yep.
So I'm regretting that decision.
We are not sending your money to buy Surge for the show, by the way. That was left over from the cabin weekend. What's the first thing you do? Spend like $200, man. I bought a lot of Surge. We don't even like it. It's just cool to have.
Hey, look, I mean, I know it's not a pizza party. That's what we said we were going to spend the money on. Surge is like pretty close to a pizza party. $200 worth of Surge? Yeah.
$200 worth of Surge, a lifetime of insulin. Fine.
Yeah. Surge, not even once.
There's no fucking diet Surge. Nope.
Fuck no. No, fuck no. I mean, there's Diet Mountain Dew, which is essentially Diet Surge.
Yeah, okay. No. Our theme song is Moves by Sycamore Drive.
Yeah.
A link to that track can be found in the show notes at tadpog.com.
Excellent. How would you like to close it out?
Like Mortal Kombat Trilogy announcement style.
Okay. That sounds good.
So until next time.
Tropical Capricorn.
I don't know. I guess meth is taking it over as the upper of choice.
I guess. Or crack. Crack is pretty much cocaine, right? But it's just it's done differently.
I don't know.
I think so.
I really don't know.
I think so. I think crack is cocaine that you smoke.
Okay. Yeah, you smoke crack and you snort cocaine.
So they make the coke like crystals or something.
Coke crystals.
Yeah,
That's fine.
I think they make them crystals.
They crystallize the rails before you bump them.
Yes.